lot of people think the people driving our ambulances are paramedics and EMTs. They're bus drivers. For lack of a better, they drive the patients to the hospital. They're drivers.
I do not agree with the number one statement that paramedic is only drivers. Even though the firefighter is not the doctor, they're only paramedic. They can only be the first response to stabilize the condition and not making him die. The ambulance need to get that patient to the hospital as quickly as possible because doctor already told me, had your friend arrived at the hospital a minute earlier, we could have saved him.
Responding to another call, tonight EMT Jimmy Webb picks up a patient in Garden Grove, jumps in the back, and then continues to Los Alamitos Medical Center and prepares to wait.
We're waiting 2, 3, 4 hours minimum. Used to be a 7 to 10 minute drive to a hospital. Now we're having to drive even further for hospitals that are open since everything's closing. Could turn into a 30-minute drive.
Falck says the response issues are out of its hands.
All over the country, there's a pandemic-induced staffing shortage in healthcare that affects not just ambulance providers, but hospitals. And what happens when an ambulance is stuck at a hospital and unable to deliver a patient because there are no beds because of a shortage of staff, that ambulance is unavailable to respond to emergencies.
The International Association of EMTs and Paramedics says it is very concerned about rising 911 response times with a dwindling workforce. The union also says company claims that the COVID-19 pandemic is a major reason for wage levels and workforce shortages are unfounded.
Ambulance crews clearly play a critically important role across the country, so it is no wonder that during the height of the pandemic last year, they were among those who got an outpouring of gratitude and nightly applause, with New York's mayor even making this pledge.
I want to guarantee you one thing, that when that day comes, that we can restart the vibrant, beautiful life of this city again, the first thing we will do is we will have a ticker tape parade down the Canyon of Heroes for our healthcare workers and our first responders. We will honor those who saved us.
Good afternoon, Lou. Good afternoon, everyone. People with the skills to save lives say they deserve better treatment and higher wages. Take a look behind me. They have been protesting across Southern California today, including right here in downtown Los Angeles.
You know, our workers have life-saving knowledge, which they deliver on a daily basis, and that knowledge ends up in better patient care.
Would this be career work if the wages were appropriate?
I believe so, yes.
What is the company saying at this point?
They are using the pandemic as a crutch, so to label the issues of hiring, the issues of response times as a pandemic issue. The pandemic doesn't hire employees. A good living wage with good benefits in a future will attract workers. We will get the workers here, but if you're not delivering on that, we will forever be understaffed.
You know, people come out and they show us the support, and I love it. I've eaten so much pizza in the last 2 weeks. It's been great. I don't need pizza. I need to be able to pay my bills.
Right. People clapping and giving pizza in appreciation was very nice, But it wasn't a substitute for the things that they actually needed, like a living wage and health benefits. The median annual wage is just over $36,000, well below what police officers and firefighters make, and for a dangerous and stressful job. EMTs and paramedics have an injury rate about 3 times the national average, and they're roughly 10 times more likely to have suicidal thoughts or behaviours. So it is no wonder that ambulance services can have real trouble finding or retaining workers and volunteers. No better time to make these changes than right now, when we still remember the absolute hell of what these workers went through last year. Remember that parade that Bill de Blasio promised? It actually took place last month. But you know who notably did not attend? EMTs, many of whom boycotted it because of stagnant wages and the fact that they worked during the pandemic without hazard pay. Look, last year, everyone was anxious to show just how much they supported EMTs. Well, now is the time to fucking prove it and make big changes on their behalf.